Okay, hello everybody. Let me just take a couple of stuff here. This is an update on the operation from my FineVision micro F lenses, implant lenses. Today we are, let me check the date. Today we are the 14th of September, so we are a little bit more, just 2 days more post-operation. The operation, I had it on the 12th of March 2016, and today 14 September, so that's approximately 4 months after the operation. Let me just explain you how my vision is at the moment. Before I even start with doing the explanation, if you want to have more information regarding these lenses, you can look at my previous videos that actually give some more explanation on how the procedure went and also on how the lenses are working. You can definitely check the review number 7 and also number 6. You don't have to go back to the previous ones before 6. Yeah, so I'm for sure glass independent. I don't need any glasses anymore, either for far, intermediate or close vision. Just to give you some background, as you might have already known, I wanted to have my near vision improved because I was suffering from presbyopia. I did not suffer from any other diseases or issues with my eyes, just presbyopia, and for me, having different eyesight on right and left eye, because if they do a correction with the laser, you will have a difference in eyesight with the right and the left eye. Is not one of my preferred options, so I went for the implant of the FineVision Micro F lenses. So let me just go over the different distances in how my visual perception is these days. Since day number 1, I was able to actually read very small script. So when I was reading like 20 centimeters at this distance, this has not deteriorated or not improved, so it is perfect. I can really read very small print. You have this print on very small little tiny eye drop bottles. It's no problem. I can even go to smaller print than that. I will lose my perfect vision when I go closer than probably 15 centimeters. So the closest I can actually read is probably between 10 and 15 centimeters. So there was no room for improvement anyway, so that's perfect. When I'm talking about this vision, so when I've got my computer here and I've got my laptop, that's a little bit of an issue when it is in the middle of the night. So I increase the, from here in the daytime, when it's daytime, I have no problems at all. My vision is really perfect. But at nighttime, when it becomes, dark, and I'm looking at my screen at this distance, I might just have to move a little closer, like to this distance here. So what is this? This is maybe like 40 centimeters. When I get to 50 centimeters, sometimes the script becomes a little bit blurry. It's not really blurry. It is like, yeah, well, you can call it blurry. So, then I just have to move a little bit closer to the computer to have a perfect vision. Also, what I have noticed, and this is something I mentioned before, when I have very, a lot of difference in colors, especially when I have white letters and black background. I was, last time I was having this video, I had, the letter 3 times printed. So you have the actual letter, and you had a little letter right on the left, and you had a little letter right to the right. And when I was opening and closing my eyes, one of these letters were disappearing. So either the left or the right one. This has actually virtually disappeared. So I don't have any of these particular double ghosting vision, I still have a little bit like a brownish blurry image right next to the letters when I'm looking at it at night, and that makes the vision a little bit more complex. So that's why I have to get a little closer to the screen. But I have the impression that this particular issue is also improving. So I start to see an improvement in this particular vision as well. So I'll have to give it a little bit more time. So it's actually driven or two images that have a lot of contrast. So white and black, or red and black, or a lot of contrast. Then you have this issue. So I think the brain are still having to filter some of the images that are around the actual letters, and it still needs more time. So we are 4 months post-operation, and I think it is interesting to see within 3 to 4 months from now again. So that's how the intermediate vision is. Well, also about intermediate vision, I've done the test. I've got my test set up where I've got my paper with the all the tests that you can do for vision, and I am back at 2013. So before I did the operation, I had 2013 vision, and I'm back at 2013. So is there any room for improvement? I don't think so, but I do expect a little bit better performance because I definitely see an improvement still today. So my vision is still recovering from the surgery, and the neuroadaptation stage is certainly not ended. So I really feel like every day there is a little bit of an improvement there. I can, I've done some tests. I can read license plates from cars at a distance of approximately 35 meters. So if you have a car, step away from the car and do approximately 40 steps, which is probably going to be close to 30-35 meters, at normal steps of course, and I can still clearly see the license plate numbers. So that is perfect. That is really good. On the intermediate vision as well, I also notice still some contrast issues. So when I'm working at the market, I do see and watch the people walking by, and when the background is like white and you get the face going in front, I still have some kind of a white blurring, double ghosting vision that actually is around their body and around their face. And I've printed off some papers so to make you understand how my vision looks like when I'm at the market. There is a parking sign approximately 45 meters away, maybe 50 meters away from my spot where I normally sell my perfumes, and it looks the P sign, and I have just made an image and I've modified the image just focusing on the P because it's on all the image. The P sign is supposed to be sharp like this. Okay, so I get a sharp P, and still right now I have this kind of vision. So you can see that there is some ghosting around the P, inside the P. So the blue has a part that is like white glare, if I can call it. Maybe you can call it glare. From the P itself. So this is actually how I see the sign these days. This is how it should be. Now, to be honest with you, the blurring, or the glare that I have around the P was much worse, of course, after the operation. So I do see also an improvement. What I've also noticed for these intermediate sight, when I'm looking at light poles next to the road, right after the operation I saw the pole with the blue background from the sky, and I saw some kind of a ghost next to that pole, a brownish ghost on both left and right side. I still see it. It has almost diminished to almost zero. But what I noticed, and this is very interesting, sometimes when I focus on that pole, I can see that brownish disappear, like, you know, it goes away and comes back. So it's like the brain is trying to find a way to filter out the image that is not supposed to be there. So, and this is very weird, because if you look at the pole, you really concentrate, and I can actually see at the wires. If I really concentrate, sometimes, like in a fraction of a second, it goes away, and then it comes back. And that confirms to me that the neuroadaptation stage is still ongoing. Also, for intermediate vision, and what I call intermediate is 5 meters and like 30-40 meters. And then I've got infinity vision. I will talk about this in a few moments. But when I'm looking at the road signs, also the stripes that, you know, separates the different lanes, there's still some ghosting, and you see the, you know, the white line on the black asphalt, and when I'm approaching it, you see these lines just joining together as you drive. And that particular vision has, you know, that blurring or ghosting or whatever you can call it is starting to become less and less perceivable. So I start to really focus on it, to really see it. So is it ever gonna go away? Is this ever gonna go away? Just stay tuned, I would say, to this channel, as I will do an update within 4 months from now, maybe 6 months from now, or if there is some dramatic improvement. So definitely very interesting. The fact that, you know, and then I'm going to talk about the infinite vision. I've got another image here that I've printed. I have reworked the image a little bit with Photoshop. What I'm going to show you, the picture I'm going to show you, is actually the street on the other side there. So you see the street on the camera, you can see it. And this is the vision, how it is sharp. And focus on the rooftop of this house here. So it's very, very sharp. But in the morning, it is very, very sharp, like the way it is on the picture. And in the evening, I start to see more and more of the sky inside the rooftop. So it becomes more blurry, and also the edges of the street if you have a blue background. Now, I don't know if this is caused by the fact that, you know, that's where the sun is by the evening, or is it caused by the fact that my brain becomes more tired. I think it's a little bit more or less both of them, because in the morning I do still have this, you know, blurring or glare around these images on the other side of the house. So, and that's where the sun rises. This is where the sun sets. So I think it's about the intensity of the background of the sky, the intensity of the light intensity of the sky itself. So yeah, this affects, and this, you know, blurring affects the quality of the image. So I am spectacle free, but still there is some work to do, I would say. There's still some improvement that needs to be done on the quality image that you see through your own eyes. And I have the impression that each time when I wake up, the quality image is becoming more and more perfect. And I must say that, you know, maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, even 1 month ago, I still had a lot of, you know, I still cannot see the really edges, the beautiful edges of the image, but it starts to improve. So I really start to enjoy the vision that I am right now having from the operation. And I am very confident that in the future, whether it takes maybe, you know, another 3 months, 6 months, a year, or even 2 years, that my vision will be perfect once the brain has really adapted to the new projection of the image on the retina or the retina in my eyeball. What about night view, and also what about lights? I'm still having problems actually with spider webs around lights. So these, lights on the other side of the street, when they light them up in the evening, I do see these rings around the lights, and I cannot really tell that I've seen any improvement. So for me, the light sources are still some problems. It does not really bother me because you get used to it, but still, again, it's about image quality, and if you're looking to perfection, yeah, well, I'm trying to find a little bit of a perfection, but not perfect. So, but my main goal is to be spectacle free, and I'm in spectacle free. So yes, I am still very, very happy with the operation, and I will do it again right away tomorrow. That's for sure, because that's the main goal, is being spectacle free. Also about the perception of the eye, and this is something that is also important. When there is a changement from dark to light, or light to dark, especially from light going to dark, when there is a cloud coming, a thunderstorm, or when the evening is falling, your pupils, they start to open up because there's less light, so your pupil starts to open up, and you start to get more of these rings that you have from your lens, implanted lens, that starts to kick off. So it still feels, and I'm really talking about my subjective feeling about it, it still feels pretty weird after 4 months. You start to look like, you start to feel that it's still not your eyes, and the brain needs to adapt. And we are now in September, so the days are going to start to shorten. I've done my operation on purpose in March, because or in May, sorry, because I absolutely wanted to not to suffer too much from the from the glaring and from the spider webs around lights, as I don't drive with the car very often, at least not at night, especially not in the summer. I actually have now been enjoying 4 months of very long daylight, and we're gonna see what happens now the next few months, because the days are starting to get more and more short, so they start to shorten quite a lot, and the night falls here in Belgium around 8 p.m. in the evening. Also, what I would say about the fact that artificial light still has these spider webs, glare. I would call it glare. So if I go into a tunnel, like each time when I go to Brussels, there is a tunnel. You got some LEDs right next to the road, so you can see the spider webs, and then you get TL lights on top, and it's the same what I show you here. You have the TL lights, but it actually blurs outside. This is inside the house, but it blurs outside the TL lights when you see them. So there is a line of TL lights right in the middle of the tunnel, and it's like blurred all around the TL lights. So I'll try to report about this as well as we go to the next review. So I expect to do at least 2 more reviews. There's going to be 10 more reviews on the implant for sure. Also, it still feels very uncomfortable, and I have to be honest with that, when I go into supermarkets. So it's a good thing for me. I don't go to supermarkets because of the fact that it gives me a weird feeling, because there's a lot of artificial light around or inside the buildings. So you feel, I can imagine, I was speaking to some other people that they were feeling like even, not really dizzy, but, uncomfortable about the fact that the lights, they have this glare around it. So it doesn't really feel comfortable. But as I explained before in this review, I'm pretty sure there is room for improvement, and I think it's just getting used to the new stimulus that we get from the retina or the retina, the information that comes on the retina. I once read an article, and I think it is, the doctor I was talking to, Dr. Evans, and he told me, yeah, I was telling him, fire it, wire it. It didn't really tell me that it's correct, but I still am convinced that somehow, somewhere, when you got the retina and you get one image that is projected on two different areas, on the retina, these two different areas, because the image with the lens is built up with basically different images on the retina. Well, the stimulus that comes on this part of the retina is always the same, so they fire the information to the brain. So finally, I think the idea of fire it, wire it is maybe correct. So after having this information going to the brain all the time, the same information, so that's the blurring. So the blurring, if you look at an image or if you look at a spotlight and you get these glares blurring, these receptors, the receptors around the area that actually catches the main image, is always sending also the same information to the brain. So actually maybe there's going to be some wiring going to be done by the two receptors together at a certain stage, and that's where at a certain moment you won't see the blurring or the glare anymore of the other images that are projected on the retina, and it considers and understands the information that is sent to the retina as one image. Okay, so that's how I think and feel about how the evolution goes with my eyesight. As I told you, when I look at that light pole with the brownish ghosts, sometimes it goes away when I really concentrate on it. So I don't know what's the reason, but it goes away for sure, and then it comes back. So it seems that the filtering, I cannot maintain the filtering, or the brain cannot maintain the filtering when I really concentrate to it. So I think it's just a firing, wiring principle system. I'm not sure if I told you before, but I'll explain it very quickly. On the retina, you've got actually different receptors. You get the cones. That's a cone, a square, and you get the rectangles and the cones, the three triangles. The triangles, they are actually there to do they receive actually the colors, and the triangles, they receive black and white images. And when I'm looking at this image, and when I look at the blurring and the glare that surrounds the rooftop here, I have the impression that, and I would say, I think that's correct, I have the impression these are the rectangles, so the black and white receptors on the retina that are just getting this information, because I most of the time it's like a brownish or a white glare that you get. So yeah, the image quality can still improve. There is still room for improvement. I have the feeling that it's still improving, so I definitely have to come with some more updates on my implant. If you have any questions, please write them in the description here. Please give me a thumb up, so you give me some motivation that I continue to update on my implants, and you can get more information for yourself, some information that might be useful to make a decision whether you should do this operation or not. Thank you for watching, and see you soon again.